definitely tested a lot. We prayed a lot.
A lot.
Out loud in our heads.
A lot. I'm pretty sure there were terrified families from the houses we passed by just listening to us scream prayers and just preaching to each other on the road while we're walking.
You're just a fashion statement.
Lately I ain't sleeping much, I'm staying up at night, wondering if all the choices that'll make it right. A lot of people doing music for a piece of pie, but all I ever...
We're live.
What's up, you guys?
Welcome back to the Serje podcast. As always, one of your hosts, Fernando Serje.
Young Money McJuicy, also known as Caleb.
Also known as We Can't Walk Right Now.
Hashtag Get Your Organ on the Serje podcast.
Hashtag Get Joe Rogan on the Serje podcast. Yeah, but little bonus episode. First video that will be uploaded.
Yeah, this is the first one. So
to YouTube.
What's up, guys? This is what we look like if you already don't know. If you don't know, now you know, subscribers. Oh.
Awkward.
Hit that subscribe button, by the way.
Yeah, so we're just doing this little bonus episode. Tell you guys about our experience from yesterday. Just really raw footage. We just thought it'd be cool to just share with you guys the experience that's still fresh in our mind. But I'll kick it off with the beginning. So the day before the march, so February 22nd,
yeah,
my professor comes up to me, Dr. Joshua Moore. Shout out to him. Episode number 8. I believe, number 6. My bad.
6, yeah.
Yeah, so he tells me, hey, man, you know tomorrow is 20 to 60 mile winds, right? I was like, nope, I didn't know that. He goes, yeah, it just came out this morning.
Fantastic. All right.
I tell Caleb, and he's like, all right.
And like, we're going to
have fun.
Well, at least I'm going to die because I'm 145 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm not a large person, so.
I'm a large person. Sad face.
Hey, thick.
I'm thick. 2 C's.
And a Q.
And a K.
Pound it.
Boom. But, so, man, he told us that, and he's like, yeah, smile through the pain already, you know? So I told Caleb, he was like, all right, cool, it'll be tough. And then we didn't really know what to expect.
Oh, Lord, no. It was rough. It was rough. You know, I think, because it started off, you know, we got to IHOP at 2 o'clock in the morning, had a great carb load session.
It was awesome.
It was fantastic. It felt great. Felt really great. And then we went to go, you know, fill up the tank with gas so that, you know, we had a driver so we didn't get stranded.
Shout out to Dan.
Shout out Dirty Dan. You already know what's up. But as I'm filling up the tank, you know, I'm looking around, you know, it's obviously really cold, but, you know, then the wind picks up and it starts drizzling a little bit. And I'm like, I look at Fernando, I'm just kind of like, oh.
This is perfect.
He's like, oh, wonderful. I'm so excited for this.
Right. Before we touch up on the start, though, let's hit up the fact that Maxine, I don't know Maxine's last name.
Garza, I think.
Yeah?
I think so.
Maxine
That's what we're
came up to me. She goes, hey, you guys are doing this tomorrow, right? I was like, yeah. She goes, can I join? I looked at her and I said, are you crazy?
Who?
I was like, are you crazy? And she was like, no, well, I've had family members who've been victim to this, so it means a lot to me. And I was like, you can do it with us. But in my mind, I was like, she's crazy, you know.
Yeah, you're crazy, but breakfast is it too. Be there.
Little did we realize.
Dude,
we're crazy.
Yeah, we're crazy. But we had already been thinking about it and talking about it for ever now. So, like, in our minds, we were just like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, the fact that Maxine was just last minute was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, no preparation at all. It was kind of like, it felt like, I didn't even know she was going to be doing this until, like, we were going to bed at 7 p.m. the day before. And I was just like,
she's crazy.
She's crazy, but, you know, breakfast is at 2. Be there.
Right. So we did that. We got to breakfast.
Yeah, we did breakfast.
I don't even remember what I had.
You had the breakfast sampler.
Because you had it too, and you got mad that I ordered first.
Yeah, so he ordered first, but with a different. What did you do your eggs for? Like, how did you have them made?
Over easy.
He had his eggs over easy, and then I was just like, "Now you're gonna make me look like that guy, huh?"
Kind of.
Well, Yeah, so we got the same thing pretty much, except my eggs were scrambled because I'm a child and that's how I like them. But yeah, so then we fill up the tank. You know, we had Daniel meet us 5 miles out each time. He can't count.
No, he cannot.
He can't count. He missed it by
The first one was perfect.
The first one was perfect. He nailed
Right
it
on.
right at 5 miles. But then the rest of the trip,
I don't know what was going on.
I don't
think
know.
it was the sleep deprived.
Yeah, the sleep deprivation
Whatever.
hit him. But he was like 5, or he was like 6 or 7 miles out.
He was
each
6.
time.
Then he was 6 again. And then by that time we were at 16, 17 miles.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, the rest station is 3.9 miles away." I was like, "Perfect."
Yeah, like that's an easy part of the march. Like
When we
easy.
get to the rest station, we hit our 25-mile mark.
Yeah, don't trust Daniel with math. If we're I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
just
sorry,
don't.
Dirty Dan.
Sorry, Dirty Dan, you know.
But so that happened. So when we started, like Caleb said, it started drizzling, man. Out of nowhere, it just starts to hail.
Oh, dude,
At
it
like
was just ice.
4 in the morning, 5
Yeah,
in the
dude.
morning.
I was getting right hooked by ice for 4 hours.
Matt, our photographer and
shout
videographer,
out.
he was so committed. He would get out, walk with us, run, all that kind of stuff.
Dude, he was going all out for the shots that he wanted.
Exactly.
He did not complain once.
No,
Even though I complained the entire time.
I mean, it happens.
These things happen, you know.
So then after that, man, it starts hailing.
Yeah,
After
pretty
the
bad.
10-mile mark, Maxine, if you guys don't know, she's 100 pounds, 4'11".
Yeah, she's a small lady.
She had 0 carbs, 0 body fat to keep her warm,
Yeah,
0
dude.
carbs to burn. So when we hit that 12-mile marker, I believe, we said like,
you
hey,
need to sit it out. Like,
yeah,
her
health-wise.
her hands were
were
swole.
swole,
Like
yeah.
it swelled over her ring that she had on, and we were just like, dude, like, I know, like,
She wasn't feeling well.
she
either.
wasn't feeling good. She was like just not okay for the time being. So we were like, dude, sit a little while out, get warm, eat some more. Obviously, eat a lot more. Like you're gonna need it. And you know, it was kind of scary to see because like at that point, you know, like
We
it was
don't know.
cold and we were like, you know, like we didn't understand like
What was going on?
what was gonna happen. Like
Yeah,
we were
because-
so unprepared for this.
Right, and we like don't know what she's experiencing in her body. You know, like
Oh, exactly.
we're both bigger than her by a ton. Like Caleb has 40, 50 pounds on her. I have 120 pounds on her.
Big boy season.
And I mean, I didn't know. Like I've rucked before. I was in the Army for about 2 years before, 2.5 years before I got medically discharged because of my shoulder.
Explain to me what the difference is between a ruck and what we did.
Not much difference besides the boots.
The boots, yeah.
So a ruck, you know, we're in a formation. We just go rucking. We walk where we have to. We march where we have to. We walk, like whatever you want to call it, you know, with weight on your back. And I mean, shout out to Dan for keep putting water bottles in my backpack.
Yeah, he made that way harder than it had to be. Every
I
time
ended
we
up with like
stopped.
40 pounds on my back.
Yeah, I know. He was just like, "Oh yeah, you guys need some more water." And we're like, "Dude, we have like 4 in our bag." He was like, "You
No,
need
just in
4
case.
more." He was just like, I remember like towards I don't even remember. I don't remember what stop this was, but I was sitting in the car, contemplating life, and
Mile
like
marker 17.
maybe no, it was way after. It was after the news station. We'll get to that in a minute. But like my bag was open in the car and I was just sitting trying to like regain consciousness. And
Yeah.
like the bag was like a little bit open and I see Dan just like
Start shoving them in there.
no, he wasn't even like he was outside the car and he was just draining those shots. He was just boom, 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 boom. And like I was watching him go in and I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, because we had a little bit of weight on our backs, but not a lot.
Yeah. It was like maybe 10, 20 pounds max.
Maybe.
A little
To
bit.
begin with.
Yeah, just to start. And then it got worse. Shout out Dirty Dan.
Yeah. I mean, we appreciate you, dude. Like,
So much. Like, of course,
for
we're
the
gonna
fact
give
that you wanted to
crap.
wake up with us and do this, because Matt offered his car to put everything in there,
Yeah.
and we were like, "Hey, you have a ton of equipment that's very fragile."
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm gonna sit on it and break like $1,000 drone or like an $8,000 camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So we were like, "Yeah, it's okay. We gotta."
We got our homie Dirty Dan out on this.
So from there we move on to the halfway point. I think that's Good next step.
Well, actually, because so Maxine sat out a little bit.
Oh yeah, Maxine sat out a little bit.
Sat out a little bit, and we were still going up until that a little
So she met us 2.5 miles away from the
2.5 miles away from the halfway mark.
When we hit mile
23.
22 and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
Right? Shout out to Maxine one more time. Like, she was like, hey guys, I said I was going to do this with you. I'm going to meet you guys halfway. We're 5 miles away, which we thought was 3.9 miles away. We had actually already walked 5.
Yeah, shout out Dirty Dan.
So she was 2.5 miles, she was 5 miles away. She goes, I'm going to meet you halfway. So we met at 2.5, which would be mile 22 and a half. Math is still not a thing.
Never is.
So
now we can't give Dirty Dan any crap because we can't add the miles either.
Exactly.
Either. English is also not a thing.
Either. So yeah, we meet at mile 22 and a half.
Something like that.
Walk to mile 25 together.
Yeah.
That's where we stopped in the news station. So
before that, I want to say another shout out, the 17th shout out this time around. Shout out to the polar bear dog.
There was this dog.
Dude, that dog was
huge.
Gosh.
She was a trooper.
She was a trooper. We found her like at the same time we found Maxine, so we were like 5 miles away from where we had to be. Or so.
So by the no. So when Maxine met us, we were about 3 miles.
So we were about 3 miles out, and we find this dog that had followed Maxine for where she got dropped off. So she got dropped off here. She walked to where we were. This dog followed Maxine, met up with all 3 of us,
just started walking
with us, and like it looked like the dog had stopped at the house it was supposed to stop at.
Hopefully.
And then so
a mile back. It stopped a mile back.
A mile back.
And then it met us a mile forward.
Yeah, exactly. Well, after we got done with the whole interview and stuff with KCBD 11, we're just eating and drinking and like trying to recoup, putting stuff off, putting
much needed rest.
Moleskin on our blisters to help it eat it away.
Shout out to Moleskin.
Yes, shout out to those whoever makes that. Yeah. And then we see this dog at the rest stop, like outside the window, just like outside the door, just like
looking like, "Hey guys, you guys ready to keep going?"
Yeah, and she was just like, "Hey, like you left me back there, like jerks."
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we get there and we meet up with KCBD 11, and super cool people.
Yeah, really
they were
nice
super
people.
excited to see what we were doing, and
brain fart. This is where the train just completely leaves,
Wow. And it was like the Windows startup was going on in my head. It was like, like the dial-up sounds. Anyways,
nice.
But so then we
met them. It was pretty cool. It was a really cool experience.
Super cool.
We didn't think anybody was we didn't think they would really care to kind of cover these news. I mean, we're just college kids walking.
Yeah.
For the cost, but I didn't know it was like newsworthy.
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be like, oh hey, cool, like picture, and then they would have put it up as a news story or something like on the website and just be like, here you go, like this happened, like a little pop-up thing. Yeah, but like they did a full interview with me, Fernando, and Maxine. And they were super cool,
super nice.
Nice.
They were very. I mean, like I said, it happens. Sexual, physical, or verbal abuse happens every 98 seconds. That's 882 people a day, rounding up because there's no half people. If you find one, let me know.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, so
curious.
That happened, and they were. I tried to make a joke because I couldn't put the microphone on correctly, and she goes, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Wow, yeah, thanks." She actually asked for consent and permission. Not a lot of people know how to do that, and she was like, "Yeah, you don't even know." And I was like, "Oh wow, so this hits you home too, huh?" Maybe her family member or someone that's closer happened to as well, because that was a big fire in Maxine's heart. Reason why she did what she did and wanted to just hop on last second to do it.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that that's what was said. I was
Yeah.
concerned with.
It was
My
you
feet.
heard the joke and then you were like,
I don't even think I heard the joke.
Maybe you were calling mom by then.
No, I wasn't. No.
Taking care of your blisters.
Yeah,
probably.
that's why it was happening.
So we take about an hour and a half break. Much needed.
Much needed. I was really struggling on that last leg.
Your blisters starting to come
My
out.
blisters were hurting. Like the whole top of my foot was just one fat blister. My knee started to swell up. I couldn't really bend it a whole lot anymore.
Popped
and I was
a lot of ibuprofen.
yeah, dude. Ibuprofen was zero help.
Yes. Yeah. I mean.
So shout out to those guys for trying to help.
Yeah.
For shout out
Trying.
Shout out ibuprofen if any of those pills are listening.
So we start back up. So we get to run 11, right?
Yeah, no,
No,
we
10.
We got there 9.
9:30.
Not yet.
We were
9:30.
so shocked at the fact that we had done 25 miles.
Yeah, because it didn't feel like it. Yeah, like I was feeling the pain, but I was just like, was not I didn't real the whole time we were doing this. So I was like, dude, it's felt like we've only been doing this for like maybe an hour, but we
Yeah.
had started at 3:00 in the morning.
Right. And I think partially like it was my fault because I was pushing way too hard. I'm used to I can walk like by my watch. We started with a under 15-mile pace.
A full sprint at like 90 miles an hour is what he was doing. Dude, you would get lost in your head and you would just go.
And then I look back,
And I'm just like
150 yards back. They're like
pimp walking my way back.
But I mean, I don't know. We were all just motivated and driven. I just got in my
Dude,
head a couple times, and they were like, "Hey,
it was funny.
Stop."
I know. I was like, "Dude, please, I'm."
But after that, so we got there 9:30, right?
Yeah.
Left around 11:30.
Yeah.
For the second leg, and then
And again, like thanks to the KCBD 11 people.
Thank you guys so much for
those
helping
guys
us.
waited to get a shot of us walking off and stuff like that, and they wanted to, make sure we were okay if we needed anything.
They literally asked if we needed anything or
like
anything extra like that.
know.
So we truly do appreciate you guys.
Wonderful people.
Yeah, wonderful
people.
crew. You guys go check them out. We'll link the description to our story down below.
Yep.
And before we go on any further, because we saw this comment from this lady today on it. A lot of people were being supportive. Thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people were just like,
they were like, "Oh, I'm so proud."
yeah, and some people were just like, I mean, it's just walking, And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's just walking. But at the end of the day, we're doing this for a cause. We're not
just doing it to make us look like, yeah, we're pretty
good walkers.
Yeah, we're pretty badass. We walk to Lubbock, not to flex on anybody.
Oh, so here it is.
Yeah.
So there was a comment that said, that's really cool, but in the end, what exactly would be accomplished? Walk for this, run for that. It doesn't really do anything concrete. And you know what? That's that person's opinion. That's completely fine. But to respond to that, you're right. It's just walking for this, running for that. But in our hearts is walking to raise awareness for sexual, physical, and verbal abuse. So another person said, who's not aware, right? It's not about the fact that there's not awareness out there. It's about the fact that you see this on the news. That starts conversation with somebody.
Exactly.
So, example, I see this on the news. Hey, Caleb, dude, these students at college that could probably be out partying or doing whatever,
Yeah.
They decided to walk 49 miles combined of 98 because of every 98 seconds this happens.
Yeah.
Wow. Caleb goes, checks out the story.
We're just like, oh, let me just.
Yeah, he sees how he can help, and then he helps.
Exactly. Like it's just all it is.
That's the concrete side of things. To answer your comment, that you wanted to see a concrete side of it. There it is.
I don't even know, like. I feel like that's our reasoning to do it. I don't know. That's not technically, I don't think, concrete. What is concrete though is the fact that we were doing this to raise money as well to Girls Who Conquer, and those things are concrete. We're raising money for an organization that really helps
impact the next generation.
Impact people, helps impact girls that are facing all of life's adversities. And since like this happens so frequently, it's obviously they're gonna like Girls Who Conquer deals with
everything.
Girls who are affected by sexual, physical, and verbal assault. So
yeah,
and that's also what's concrete about it, is the fact that we're doing something physically. You know, us walking is just getting people to notice the concrete part of it. We're getting people to notice the money that we're trying to raise, the fact that, you know, they also accept office supplies or school supplies, however you want to see it, like
Right,
notebooks,
all
paper,
those.
pencil, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the concrete things. But I feel like the person who made that comment didn't really
Read much about it.
read much about it. They
because
didn't,
it's in the description of
yeah, it's kind of in there. I feel like, you know, it really did kind of. I want to
move your heart.
It really
start up your emotions.
No, not even started. I'm not even gonna be. I'm not gonna like beat around the bush. It pissed me off because I just walked 49 miles to help something that's very close to me, that's very important to me and to people around me, trying to do something that literally is concrete, but you know,
Obviously, you don't see it for your own reasons.
You didn't see it, and you know, I really wish that she had read up about it a little bit more.
Exactly. Don't just read the title.
Please don't read the title. Actually,
let's move on from this.
Sorry, I'm gonna
get. Caleb says something else.
Dude, I am in a rant mode right now. I am 45 and fighting people on Facebook now. I swear. Oh, anyways.
But hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. You know, one lady actually tapped out a prayer for us, so we really truly do appreciate that. That was awesome.
Sorry, I'm trying to bring myself down.
It's all good, but. So, let's push past that halfway mark point.
Yeah, halfway.
Yeah, so we keep going. We get to Abernathy, 7 miles after that. Rough 7 miles. So, I was kind of like, quote unquote, leading this.
He definitely
and,
was.
I kind of felt really bad because about, was it 2 miles out of Abernathy that we would have stopped, but I didn't want to. No, yeah, it was 2 miles because
because it was 5 before we hit Abernathy because we stopped by the cars.
At the Dairy Queen.
Yeah, we stopped at the Dairy Queen real quick.
But before,
no, wait, that wasn't Abernathy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're talking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so before we were like 2 miles out from the destination where we're gonna take another rest, and I was like, hey, you guys can rest. I'm gonna keep going. You guys can catch up. But they didn't want to. Of course, they wanted to do the whole thing with me. Maxine actually hopped in, right? We already went through that.
Yeah, she hopped in.
So Maxine hopped in. We started going through after halfway. We walked from the rest stop 7 miles in to Abernathy. We didn't take a break there because I'm a horrible person and I don't take other people's feelings into consideration.
Oh, dude, you were just going like in your own head. So you were just
what happened was sunglasses time. Put my sunglasses on, put my hat, just started looking down, just took off. Like, again, they had to be like, hey, dude, like, slow down, you know?
Please help. I'm limping to Lubbock right now because my knee was just swollen, my ankle was swollen.
So we passed the rest stop that we were actually supposed to stop at 2 miles away from Abernathy. I was like, we can do this easy.
We did it.
We did it, but, you know, I felt really bad. I was texting Matt and Daniel, but we couldn't get the right mile marker. They couldn't find the sign or whatever.
Yeah, so
we just like went through. I felt really bad when we stopped at that Dairy Queen in Abernathy just because I saw how bad they were struggling.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't my second wind either.
Dude, you never had a second wind. You were just freaking like he just went for it. Like, just there was no hesitation. Like, there was never any slowing down with your pace unless we said something. But, like, it was crazy. If it was just Fernando, he would have made it there at least an hour earlier. Like, I promise you that. He was just...
I don't know, man. So, like, we did 49 miles. Nick Bear, shout out to Nick Bear. He's been one of my biggest motivations on doing this, starting this. He rugged 150 miles.
Yeah.
From Austin to Houston in order to help raise money and things like that for to help raise money and things of that nature for Hurricane Harvey victims. So man, like, he killed it. We'll link the video down below.
Yeah, we'll link that video too.
Go check him out. Hashtag get Nick Bear on the Serje podcast.
Nick,
check out his own podcast.
Yeah.
It's great too. But so we get to Abernathy. We rest for about 30, 45 minutes. And then I'm like, all right, from here, we were at mile marker, halfway through mile marker 21 before we hit 20.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we're going to meet at 17. So from there, we met at 17, which was 4 miles out. So boom, we went 4 miles, stopped there, stopped at 17. From there, we went to 14.
Yeah, we went to 14.
From 17 to 14, I think it was the roughest ones on
Yeah.
Maxine and Caleb.
Yeah, like that was. I think that was the breaking point for both of us. Like we were just. That's when our bodies started to slowly shut down.
So the pace went from like, so we started with the 15-minute pace, moved to an 18-minute one because again I had to slow down, take care of my team, make sure they were comfortable. Then we ran up to a 21 mile, 21-minute mile pace. And we took some breaks in between. Maxine started cramping up.
Yeah.
And we slowed down on the pace. But so we got to mile marker 14.
Yeah.
We were literally 5 miles away.
Yeah. 5 miles out.
And I was really concerned for their health. Truly was. I asked Dan, our driver, I asked Matt, I was like, hey guys, I'm thinking about setting them out the rest of the time. We were going to do 98 miles combined. We already had exceeded our goal by then because 5 miles out, that's math that we're not gonna do right now.
Because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yep. So 44 miles apiece. So 44 miles between me and you.
Yeah, that's a number.
Yep. So 44 times 2.
Yeah.
Right. 44 times 2. That's 88.
Yeah.
We take away 7 from 44, that's another number. That's at 37 because she didn't do this 7 miles with us.
Right, okay.
So plus 37, we were already at 125 miles.
Yes.
And I was like, I got back in the car while we were resting. I was like, hey guys, look, like, we're all worried about y'all's health. Like I said, I don't know why pain was not a thing for me there at that point.
Dude, again, kudos to you. Like, I physically could not have done what you did. And just...
So we did that. Maxine was mine and Caleb's first priority at the time.
Yeah, just because,
100 pounds, probably less by then.
Yeah, definitely.
4'11".
Small framed person, and not even just because of her size, but just because
her actual frame is super tiny.
Well, yeah, not even. She was just all like physical stuff aside. She was just hurting really bad.
The back of her knees were cramping really bad.
We had to stop a few times because she had to just work some cramps out, and it was just. We're the type of people to be like, you know what, we'll be fine. Like, we'll figure something out, but. The same way you came to me and like you came to all of us and was just like, I think you guys should sit out.
Yeah. So.
And I was just like, no, like I was like, he came to us with that, and I was like, dude, like at this point I'm hurting really bad, but I can push through it, and like I'm doing, like, he knows why I was doing this. Everybody knows why we're doing this, and it was very important to me that I would go until my legs fell out from underneath me, and it was just,
the wind picked up so bad that Caleb was mid-step.
Oh, dude, I got ankle picked by the wind. Like I took a step, my foot went and hit my other foot, and I almost like totally ate it. But Maxine was hurting pretty bad, and we're obviously more concerned with other people than we are ourselves.
Right.
And it was to the point where.
Like, it was okay for her to stop.
It was very okay because, she just did it. Like, she had no hesitation. She got out there and did it with us. She was with us
She had the opportunity to stop after the first 12, 13 miles.
Yeah, she could have stopped at any time.
And then just decided to hop right back on. So we got there. Caleb said no, of course. I was like, all right, man, let's get back on the road. 5 more freaking miles. This was about 6.
Yeah.
I said 5 miles, 2 hours. Let's finish by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? 5 miles, we're good.
So the road stops. The access road stops, and for everybody's safety, we went through
We went
through
under
an
an overpass, over some train tracks.
and walked on the opposite side.
there was
kind
a-
of country road.
Yeah, country road.
Please take me home.
Ouch.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing more.
So we walked through there. That was quote unquote 2 miles.
Yeah, that was 2 miles pretty much to get to that other road.
So
Or whatever number.
We did not know this at the time.
Yeah, they were just like,
So-
oh yeah, it's just right over there.
We get there.
It's not right there.
I'm like, Caleb's like, how far are we? I go ask. He's like, oh, we're 3 miles away. At this point, there have been a few times where Caleb's ankle just didn't work.
Yeah, and at that point, you know, like, just before I asked, you know, like, that fat old blister I was building up, like, if you look at it now, like, it's a good 2 inches, like 2 inches in any direction.
2 inches by an inch.
Yeah, 2 inch by an inch, and it was a pretty juicy blister. I had one on my toe that pretty much took over my entire toe.
Yeah, that was nasty.
You know, that one on my left foot that was super big, I felt it pop, and I felt it was just the worst pain. And, you know, because that just popped, my body shifted, like, most of its weight to that right side where my knee was already locked up, my ankle was already locked up. So I was walking on my left heel, like, just dragging my body through. And I was like, dude, like, how much farther do we got? And there were tears in my eyes. Like,
Yeah.
I really couldn't anymore. And it was heartbreaking because, like, I had done all of this. And it was really big for me to actually finish. But it was probably one of the few
healthiest
times.
choice for you to
Yeah,
call it
I mean,
a day there. Like I said, we set out to do 98 miles combined. We exceeded that goal.
Yeah, and it was just heartbreaking, you know, because, like, I knew in my head, I was like, if it was anything over, you know, like a mile, like, from the point we were at, like, I couldn't do it anymore. And you went back to the car, you know, Matt was right behind us. You went back and talked to him, and, you know, I was just fighting back tears because I was like, come on, we're almost there. And you said 3 miles, and then it was just, like,
Emotion.
cut off. It was just tears flowing because.
And so marathon runners say that in a marathon you experience years of emotions, and I think, like, that's what we did in this march, you know. But we just got a hint of what these victims go through.
Exactly.
But so we get to where we were supposed to meet the car. I dropped Caleb off. I'm like, hey guys, I'm just gonna ruck it the rest of the way. Put my hat down. Just took
go.
off.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know Maxine hopped off the car.
Yeah, as soon as I got in, Maxine was just like, nope, we're going. And I was like,
so she hops off the car, but I don't know what happened. I just took off, and she was like 100 yards behind me by the time she started
and she
jogging.
caught up.
She just like hard sprints catch up to me, and I was like, oh, hello.
She just showed up, and you're like,
Yeah,
like
I was
polar
like,
bear?
what's
Like-
up? And then I was like, hey, like, walk these next 2 miles with me. I'll just run the last one. This is where everything hit me. So after maybe like 15 minutes of me walking with Maxine, I'm like, oh, that's 2 miles. I'm like, hey, Matt, how far are we? I see exit 10.
yeah,
And I think mile marker 10.
yeah.
Well, mile marker 9 is still 3 miles away. Everything miscalculated.
so bad.
Everything so bad. We
So
need
bad.
to prepare a lot better. I'm like, hey Matt, I'm gonna run this last mile. We Facebook Live it and all that kind of stuff. We're still 3 miles away.
Yeah, you're still pretty far out.
So I ran the last 3 miles. Airborne shuffled. That's pretty much where, like, your feet just continue to move slowly. It looks like you're running, but you're
like, you're a hardcore power walker.
I'm a
It's like-
hardcore power walker that wants to be a runner. I was slowing down Maxine, so I was like, hey girl, take off. Like, I'm holding you back, you know?
Oh my gosh.
But it was very, very important for me to do the whole 49 miles. We were half a mile out. No. We were a quarter of a mile out. I see the sign. I don't see like the Lubbock city limit signs, but I see like exit that I know where it's by. Matt comes out of the car. He's like, bro, that's the sign. You see the big one, 20 feet from it, that's your destination. I told him, I was like, hey man, look, I haven't drank water for the last 10 miles. Can you get me a water bottle? Gives me a water bottle. We take off, or I take off the last quarter mile, and I pass the finish line, and I like emotions just started pouring out of me. I can't, like, if we're gonna be completely honest, I've quit on a lot of things in life. Uh, I've quit when either things got really serious, or I quit when things got really tough, and I this was one of those things I didn't want to quit. There were plenty of times where I was like, man, this is crazy, but my aunt just kept coming back to my head. My beautiful fiance just kept coming back to my head. All the people that don't come out with their stories of being sexually assaulted came in. And like that quarter mile, I just got that last bit of energy that I needed, really. I called my parents, or my mom called me right away when we ended the Facebook Live thing. I talked to her, and like we got to talking. Before that, I hugged the guys.
Yeah.
Maxine took off to the gas station like 900
Oh yeah.
yards out because she had
Before
to use
Fernando
the restroom.
even hit the line, me and Daniel are in the car. I'm just like a wreck. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. Everything's shut down. Like I can't get up. It was just awful. And Daniel we see this girl just sprint past the car. And Daniel was just like, "Is that Maxine?" She was wearing a blue jacket like all day, and I didn't see the blue jacket on her, so I was like, "No, that's somebody else, whatever." But it was Maxine. She ended up
Downgrading.
Downgrading real quick, and she was another mile away. So
But-
shout out Maxine for just
Catching up on that one of the miles.
bringing back another mile.
Yeah. So, man, I get done, catch my breath. The guys get out of the car. Nice little group hug. Man, I was super emotional. I took the freaking picture next to the freaking sign. And then my mom called, and we just got to talking. And then my aunt, I was brought up, and I just started crying. I was like, man, like, me and Caleb promised our family members that we were gonna be the people that they truly believed we were. So hope this is one step closer to that. Hope we're making them proud, and just balling. I called my fiance, told her I loved her. Called Caleb's mom, told her I loved her. Called my mom, but for those of y'all that don't know, I have two moms. Three. I have a ton of moms.
All of the moms.
I have my biological mom, my stepmom we dropped a step on that. She's been everything and more I've needed her to be in my life. So there's no step in this, just mom. Caleb's mom was the mom to me as well, She would bend over backwards for me. So love her to death too.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom. all of
you,
them.
moms, plural.
And then I called one of the founders of Girls Who Conquer, a very close friend of ours too, and we were just like, "Thank you guys so much for letting us do this for you." We really appreciate it. And then we did the best thing we could think of.
Oh yeah.
And we went to go
We
grab
went
some
straight
Whataburger.
to Whataburger. There was no hesitation. Maxine was like, "Where are we gonna eat?" Whataburger. That was the first thing out of my mouth since anybody had gotten in the car. Daniel had never experienced Whataburger before. And, we've been to Lubbock with him multiple times, and he just hasn't been able to get to Whataburger because there isn't one in Plainview. So I was like, one, I want Whataburger. Two, Daniel hasn't had Whataburger. Three, why are we not driving to Whataburger yet?
Sorry, my fiance was calling.
Oh, tell her I said What's up, homie? How's the cat?
Uh,
But yeah, we went to Whataburger, we ate, and then
head back home and slept, crashed.
Yeah, our bodies today. Yeah, I mean, you seem to be doing pretty all right. I mean, you can definitely tell that there's a lot of soreness in your body, but you seem to be moving fine. You're more willing to move.
So I got up this morning, felt like an 80-year-old man, out of shape 80-year-old man. I'm not gonna say that because there's people that are 80 run marathons. They're wild.
That is true. There's also people like Steve Horton in the world.
Yep. Shout out to Steve Horton.
Shout out to Steve.
52 years old.
Keep doing the curls. The biceps look fantastic.
52 years old and still beats me up when we wrestle.
Retweet.
So I got up this morning, but then I stayed up and I kind of started moving, and then the blood flow started. The lactic acid started to wear off, or just go whatever the lactic acid does in your freaking body.
Yeah, whatever scientific term.
Wherever it goes. And I just kept moving, and slowly but surely starting to work better and better. My body's starting to be better and better. Yeah, so we're shooting an interview for the documentary tomorrow with our buddy Matt.
Yeah,
but
that should be out soon.
I think that's it for the video.
I just want to say, if you haven't looked at the news story, you definitely should. Super cool experience, but I just want to say this again because I felt like not enough people really heard this. But we got a lot of people asking us, one, why are you doing this, all that good stuff. So and if the weather was so bad, why didn't you stop and wait for it to let up and then continue going?
Oh, do you want to hit that up real quick before we actually end?
What do you mean?
Quick recap of our conversation.
Yeah, because that's actually what I was about to do. I was about to say that.
Kill it.
It kind of made the whole weather, everything, the weather, crapping out on us, the whole, not being prepared, our bodies not physically not being able to handle it, all the adversity we had faced throughout this March, kind of just symbolizes what goes on in the life of a victim, every single day. They don't get to choose the day that
this happens to them.
They don't get to choose that. They don't get to choose, what circumstances it's under. They don't get to choose who's with them, when it happens, why it happens, how it happens, whatever.
We have a choice to rest,
exactly.
Stop. They
why
don't.
Why should we get that opportunity to choose, the weather's bad, we'll reschedule. Why make it easier on ourselves if we're doing this to show support and we're doing this to put our bodies and push ourselves to the physical limit to show that, we're willing to, put our bodies through hell in order to show support for these people. It just made it a little bit more special. The fact that conditions were
rough.
So rough.
Big test of our faith.
Big taste of faith. Didn't taste good, if you were wondering.
Big test of faith. And
exactly.
Me and Caleb prayed about 100 billion times on the way there.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one time me just trying to motivate Caleb.
Dude, you were just preaching to me.
I really was. I was like, this is what happened, bro. God and the devil were talking.
This was
just
2 hours.
Just like with Job, right?
2 hours.
If you don't know the story of Job, check it out.
That's biblical.
That's biblical. So I was like, the devil told God, I was like, these guys aren't going to do it. And then God was like, yes, I know they're going to do it. I know. And the devil was like, let me test them. And God gave him the go-ahead for it. So we were just saying, the devil is here trying to stop us. Yeah. And he was trying. But did he succeed? No. So our faith was definitely tested a lot. We prayed a lot. Out loud in our heads.
A lot. I'm pretty sure there were terrified families from the houses we passed by just listening to us scream prayers and just preaching to each other on the road while we're walking. We weren't in cool marching gear. It didn't look like we were professionals. It just looked like 2 guys just got to, like, put on their backpacks and walked.
Yeah, it looked like we needed a ride to Lubbock.
And I know that people kept asking us, like, you need a ride? We're like, no. Death. We're doing this on purpose. Like,
yeah. But before we go, guys, like always, shout out to Fuego Subs, Nava the Beast. Go check him out if you haven't already. Get some cool gear, some cool protein. They're as well in the business to change lives. Also they taste great.
They taste fantastic.
Their stuff tastes fantastic. And if you're in the San Antonio, Austin, or Houston area, or need power washing, window cleaning, commercial or residential cleaning, anything in that nature, hit these guys up. Mention the podcast, get 10% off in fuegosubs.com. Promo code Serje, Serje.
Correct.
Get a SIG discount on your cart. But that's it for today.
Yeah.
That's it for this.
And again, for the 8th time we're about to end this, thank you again to Girls Who Conquer for allowing us to do this for you guys. It was an amazing experience, life-changing, and I really hope that what we've done is able to help you guys out and really make
donation links down below.
I really hope that what we've done is able to help you guys. Thanks again to KCBD11 for giving us an opportunity to reach more people with our message.
Family and loved ones.
Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Daniel. Thanks to Maxine. Thanks to everybody who said a prayer. Everybody who wished us luck. Everybody who bought a shirt. Everybody who bought a sticker.
Thank you especially to everyone who doubted us and said we weren't going to do this and called us crazy. Because that just kept our motivation going even more.
Even though, you're right, we are crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I told Caleb to sit me down next time I had an idea.
Yeah,
but
we definitely need to talk this over more.
Definitely. See you guys on the next one, though. Thank you so much.
All right, now Caleb's going to waddle back to the camera.
Sweet. All right, cool, and we're done.
Oh, my cheeks, bro.
Let me call my beautiful fiance before she gets mad at me.
I said, what's up, and how's that cat? Peace. Wait, Fernando. Snip.